Look at our first game. We are going to be having BRK be on defense and Black Dragons on attack squad as the bomb site goes upstairs for the first round.
This is interesting because normally BRK's primary tends to be down in laundry, partially for the reasons I was just discussing. So them starting up on dorms, not sure if they're just trying to mix it up against Black Dragons or if they have some new strategies they want to try, because you want to try those generally earlier in a match when you can kind of feel those out and get some idea. Because we've seen what happens when teams try wacky strategies late in the match. That's when they tend to lose. So I don't expect we'll see that. But this is an interesting start, going up dorms first. Especially with the Glaz on the board here from Psycho. He is quite good at that Glaz.
Yeah, and it looks as though, I'm going to say we're probably going to be seeing a push from small tower, maybe onto the kids' dorms as well. But the glass play makes me think that this is going to be one of those smoke and plant type strategies here.
Yeah, and maybe going for even that A window if they need to. I mean, they're not blinking like a Blackbeard, for example, to go for the B window pushes, stuff like that. And they tend to be, they are pushing from the west side right now, which makes me think we're going to see that glass on that A window, just trying to put some pressure on, even if they don't push that way. But they do have some smokes to use, at least from glass if no one else. So I'd imagine we'll see that as part of the strategy, but they do want to clear this tower out first. That's very important to pushing the site, no matter what you're doing with it. See, though, they're definitely being a little cautious here. The first round being one where they're really not sure what they're going to be up against right now.
Now, I like the Valk cam here by Zig. It likely will get spotted out there by PZD, but at least it's going to gain a couple. Actually, it won't get spotted out, but it will gain a little bit of intel, saying, okay, they are looking to push over towards Red Tower. You can hear the repels, hear the opening of the windows.
Yeah, Zig is going to go for this run out here, but they are a little bit prepared for it. If this works, though, this is going to put it big in BRK's favor. Nope, looks like the timing just not there, but he did make good use of that camera you were talking about.
So he knows that the Red Tower is now a little bit pretty much compromised here, so he's not going to be pushing out too much. The cam spotted on top of the roof. He doesn't need to risk it, we'll say, because he has the play from underneath. They aren't pushing from small tower just yet. They aren't pushing into kitchen.
Now, his point is just control kitchen at this point, and I think he's doing a good job to make sure they can't approach from underneath. But they're really going for an attic tower clear here. Looks like they might want to go for that B window. You see Wag already getting prepared to try and help breach over there. So I got to imagine Zig might consider rotating up back to bedroom through those kitchen stairs.
Now with a minute 20 left to go, the attackers are still getting set up here. Black Dragons looking to take over the Red Tower, move in from attic. They're just going to finish droning it out, make sure it's all clear, and then push in towards the meeting hall.
This is going to be heavy pressure from the side of the B window and from the attic here. It's going to be up to Bullet to make some interesting plays as well on that roam, potentially. Glad they brought that Jaeger, though, to prevent some of those grenades. We have seen a lot less Jaeger play, but I do think, despite the lack of the ACOG, this will be important here to make sure these windows stay secure.
Now there are 3 people from Black Dragons that are focused onto the doorway, where Zig is going to push on out. Looks as though 1 shot, 2 shots from from Zig will land onto 1, and that's going to be a downed Mira inside of the kids' dorms.
Now the question is Psycho going to continue to hold these windows, or is he going to push to put pressure on the A window? Because you don't need 3 people on this here, but it seems to be working quite well.
Julio gets the first frag of the round now, as 1 is going to be still down for the count. Bullet, though, picks up 1 frag, picks up a headshot there. And now we see Bullet coming on out of the Red Tower. He grabs a second one. A 3-on-3 now that Nesk has been taken out of play by Psycho. It's going to be back and forth. Now the last man alive is going to be Bullet here, and a 1-on-2. Does not look like 1 will get picked up. Nope, there's the frag kill. Psycho's going to try to rappel on into the kids' dorms. Wag's going to be underneath, ready for the plant, and Bullet trying to play right under. He sees him. Oh, he just looked away at the wrong time. Now Bullet's got to come up the west stairs, come up right behind Wag. He's already looking right at it. Here's going to be a little bit of a skirmish. Wag's going to be inside of the middle dorms now. Bullet's got to come up through the barbed wire. This is likely to give away his position, as it will kind of give a little sound indication.
A little jingle.
So there it goes. Oh, he's going to pre-fire. He goes for Wag. It's now a 1-on-1. Psycho's going to use the mirror window. Goes on, scoots through, goes for the shot. He actually grabs the headshot. That's going to be a 4K for Bullet and the clutch of the round. First round of the evening will go to BRK Esports.
Easy MVP of that round for Bullet. So that's kind of what I was saying about the Jaeger being useful downstairs there. I think absolutely the reason that the defenders won that round came down to they put all their eggs in one basket on that B window. I do like the idea that they put so much pressure on. They actually took that window quite well, decimated the site defenders. Problem came down to the roamers. They didn't do any map control for the roamers. They just mostly focused on pushing in, taking tower, taking attic, and said, we don't have to worry about kitchen, we don't have to worry about lobby, we don't have to worry about the rest of the house. let's just focus on that one side. And that worked at the beginning, but they just weren't prepared for Bullet to come around behind them and Zig to rotate as well. It worked out brilliantly for them, but Bullet really did have to perform at the end there in that 1v2. Easily could have lost that. So I do think that was about as close as it gets for a win on either side.
Yeah, no, that was very well played by Bullet. Ultimately, like you said, the clutch of the round, the MVP of that round.
Absolutely.
Now, we are going to be going downstairs for Black Dragon's first defensive round.
Yeah, and they are bringing the mute. Interesting. We'll see what Kamikaze does with that. Maybe use this to help kind of secure some spots for a roamer, whether it be himself or another. But I definitely think it's interesting because there's so many choke points upstairs, and there's so much utility from drones now that you could potentially use 10 of them. It does have potentially a lot more utility, but we'll see if that might have been a better choice to play with, like, say, Jaeger, for example, to stop all the grenading from going down, especially now that they're bringing those Candelas, right? That's where the ADSs could have come in to play even more, but we're not seeing those, so hopefully that pays off for them. I think they'll probably go roam heavy if they're going to be bringing that mute.
Now, what we are going to be seeing here from BRK is a red tower construction push, and basically what this is used, what, in essence, to not have to go after the roamers on the west side of the map.
I think this is honestly the dominant strategy, in my opinion, on attacking Laundry, despite the prevalence of Yang and those pushes on the... Because C4s, especially in Latin America, are very strong on stopping those pushes and plants on Laundry. I think this is the better way to go. I think if you can hold off B and control that hallway from the tower side, I think you can make it easy construction push, and we've seen it time and time again throughout this year, despite operator change-ups.
Now, right now, Yuke's first drone here is just going to be getting a lay of the land for downstairs, making sure, okay, we know the mirror window's there, we know that these walls are soft, X walls are hard, reinforced. Now, one is going to be playing this key role in trying to make sure that there's not going to be a flank through attic. Yeah. Kamikaze sitting inside of the middle dorms right now, waiting for a push on through, waiting for that call. It's a matter of who's going to be more patient, who's going to have the right timing.
Yeah, I think as long as BRK plays smart about it and drones in, I think they could take this if BD is not properly prepared to rotate around and take advantage of the people being focused on one spot for the most part. Because they are very good at clearing the tower, the attic, and the meeting hall, which is what they're doing, just completely controlling one side of the map. But that does cut off a lot of accessibility here to those roamers.
You can see those well-placed EMPs. That's going to take out some ADSs or traps that might be through the doorways of both of the drop hatches.
See BD really stacking up here, knowing that the pressure's coming in, but they have to watch A as well. They can't just leave that out, because when you get a pinch here from construction and those laundry stairs, it is very deadly.
Now, it looks as though this will come down to a Kamikaze and Psycho timed push, because we do have multiple attackers, multiple defenders, all getting into skirms, getting in a duo fight back and forth here. Looks as though the first kill, though, goes from Bullet there on to Julio. That's going to start off the push for BRK. However, Yuke gets taken down by PZD. A wonderful frag by the Valkyrie onto Bullet. That's going to be Psycho grabbing one kill. Diffuser, however, does go down. Mute, that's Kamikaze, picks up one kill. There's a trade by Zig. Swings on through. Psycho gets us 2K on the round. Nesk, last man alive here. He's going to be holding this top floor angle. He knows no one's up, but it looks like some shots from the front door will take him on down by Kamikaze. And that was going to be round number 2, going in the hands of Black Dragons. It's 1-1 right now.
That's the problem, is you got to watch. You open that hatch for your own purposes, but once you've lost too many teammates to watch it, then your entire push can be just stopped from behind, like the way that mute was right there. I liked what he was trying to do with the angle, but he just didn't have anyone to watch his back, but there was too many defenders left alive. I was surprised, honestly, that C4 kills didn't play a bigger part in that, just because those throws can really stall off an attack right there. But then the Mira getting taken off early before being able to use the C4, and Valkyrie being too busy running around using the gun. We just didn't see it happen. I liked the attack there, but I just felt like they didn't get enough defenders off the board before that push tried to go in. And then it just came down to a numbers game, and they can only push in so many people at a time against them.
I think Psycho and Kamikaze, they timed everything well. They pushed correctly. They were able to hold off, not be detected as to where their exact location was. And the downstairs defenders were able to just get the trades enough that when you have your flank holders being the last man alive, they have to choose one way or another to look.
Yeah, and I think Psycho's kill there really kind of changed things as well, because the Mirror getting taken off the board was kind of important, but then the Valkyrie coming in strong and getting those kills really shifted things the other direction.
Now we are going to have Nesk here back on the Valkyrie. He is in previous seasons been known most famously for his Valkyrie cannon placements, whether they are very close for a very early, hard, aggressive frag.
Is this a tower defense?
This looks as though it will be a tower defense inside a red tower there.
So this should be interesting. This is, I mean, this is what I said earlier, that I think it's better to bring this out early than bring it out late. Because we saw, for example, Merciless try and bring this out late against BRK, and that was a huge mistake for them. So this is a case where, hey, let's try this earlier rather than later. But I don't know if it'll hold up. We haven't seen this work very often. This is not like gaming in Chalet. This is just something that's a bit more of a risk. But they are definitely going to try and take control of West Side first, which is what you need to do to make sure that you have those proper pinches. But there's, I mean, there's a lot of outside access to tower here. So if they clear these roamers, this is going to be a big problem. There we go, the start of it.
Good pickup there. That's PZD grabbing the first headshot of the round.
So already, I'd say BD are off on a strong start, taking out Bullet, who was a big player in their last win on defense, already off the board. They are bringing the Mute now as well on their defense. You see the plays in fact. Oh, Yuke. That again, we were talking about earlier, Ella being such an important roamer here, getting taken off the board early by this Glaz would be a big problem for them.
Ooh, Yuke's going to actually try to challenge that onto
Wow.
Psycho.
No face shield on that Glaz. Could work. I mean, there's enough bullets if you could land them.
So right now, Kamikaze has the lockdown on Yuke. They know, okay, we're going to pinch him, we need to go after him, but they're spending a lot of time and energy, basically, trying to figure out when is the best way to go and attack him. Three people, Flashbang's going to miss, and now Yuke's going to try to scoot that on over. Psycho covering onto the side flank. Wonderful pickup there.
Brilliant. I think they deserve to win this round just for that alone. And that spin around, he gets shot like, what? Is that a mosquito? Nope, swatted. So nicely done.
Very good crosshair placement there, and that's going to lead into a 5-on-2, 1:10 left to go. Zigstro still trying to hold on to the attic on that second floor of Red Tower. Nesk rotating back to site from the basement.
I think they were really banking on roamers for the site to work, and now that they've all been picked off, it's just down to Nesk and Zig. Not that those aren't really important players, but against 5 with the Glaz and all this utility left, this is really not looking good for BRK. Especially this progress here now that they've got some of the wall open. Zig's sitting here still having to adjust the sight on the fly.
Unfortunately, though, it looks like Zig might have destroyed his mirror window. I don't know if that was intentional or if he was just waiting, but that is all gone. So now it's still a 5-on-2, not much of a hold, we'll say. There's basically going to have to be the attackers need to push in the last 25 seconds. Zig's going to be above. Diffuser's going to be in the hands of Wag. Nesk holding from below, looking for the shots as to the first person going to move in forward, which is going to be Wag. He's going to try to go for the plant. C4 tossed on over, and that will down him with 10 seconds left to go. BZD picks off Nesk. Zig's going to grab the frag there to Psycho. He's the last man standing in a 1-on-4. Who is going to try to challenge this, and he goes down as well. Zig going to come on over, go for a shot. He's going to get that one as well. No more time. The defender's going to win this one. Look at that. Black Dragons just doing work and unfortunately not able to do what actually mattered and get that diffuser planted. BRK walks away with a tremendous victory.
I don't think I've ever seen a clutch where someone just leaves 3 injured players down. Like, I don't need to finish any of you. I'm going to disable your whole team and watch you just crawl around to a loss. I really feel like that came down to the way they attacked. They had all the advantage in the world, and they all pushed from almost one side.
They did.
And that was a huge mistake. They had the entire outside to push from. They could have pushed from the top of tower after just droning it real quick. They had so much opportunity on such an easy bomb site to attack with just 2 people left, and they blew it, and that really is why they lost it. But I still got to give credit to Zig. That was really well played.
Zig and Nesk, the duo right there. Nesk, perfect C4 toss.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say 95% good C4 toss. It would have been better if he got him killed, but nonetheless, the brand was still one in their hands. He stopped the diffuser from being planted. That is the goal of that C4, and that's exactly what it did. Zig, on the other hand, played upstairs, the second floor of that red tower, like a champ, and that is what led to that victory. He downed the Julio, which was a sledge, who tried to challenge him. He got the kill, I think, on Habano or whoever came in through the attic. He then jumped on down through, and ultimately, it was very good situational and map awareness that Zig showed there.
And you saw the speed. He's like, I don't even need to finish these kills. I know what I need to do. He just was focused.
He wasn't
on what
distracted.
He was doing. No, and he was doing the wall bangs even through the door, right where he knew the diffuser was going to be. And I thought that was brilliant, like, because he had no time left. He just had to wall bang it and hope that was it. It was a long shot, but it definitely showed knowledge and skill there, and as well as calm. And I think Zig is a great player for that. This long angle here, though, onto dorms. This is definitely going to be interesting.
I don't think I've seen this angle before here on Oregon. This is all the way back in Junkyard Spawn, looking over the connector roof into the A window.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you need Ying to be doing that, but I guess maybe Yuke's his utility is meant to come into play later in the round, so they're just getting some good extra use of him. But I like the long angle because people might get a little careless in that middle area of the dorms, and you can really punish them for it if you have right crosshair placement.
And especially if you're going to be using that Ying for the later game Candelas and the smokes, you want her playing more passively but still be effective. And I think that might be why we are seeing her.
Yeah, not necessarily the super speed entry fragger that people might have expected from the utility at the beginning. Definitely more of a late game push sort of operator, especially combined with their smokes. So we are seeing, though, a lot of movement around on the outside, trying to kind of feel things out because they know roamers are a big factor in this right now, especially between these two teams. If they can get PZD off the board, that would definitely help, but that's not going to be easy with the flexibility of Ella.
Now here is Bullet. He has managed to gain control of the west stairwell. I don't know if he's been spotted out.
There we go.
He's going to look for the tight angle and drag down PZD for the kill. 5-on-4 with a minute and a half left to go.
That's an important kill, especially if they can get Kamikaze off the board here too. Then I could really see this push coming into a crush here from BRK.
Well, see, now that they've known there's no one inside of middle dorms, Kamikaze's still going to be there. Bullet will just keep a hold on here, and they're going to focus their way onto Julio from underneath. Wag, though, has managed to get his way inside
Bullet does
the middle
have
dorms.
2 grenades left as well to help clear this out, and he's going to start using them right now from below.
I think we might see a cooked grenade underneath of Wag, but no, Julio grabs that Vector headshot onto one. That's grabbing a frag down onto the Thatcher. 50 seconds left to go. Nesk inside of dining, trying to hold onto the kitchen, dropping a rotation through meeting hall.
Yeah, they left the downstairs a little bit undefended, focusing a bit more on the upstairs here. Might come to bite him if he's able to do his job down there.
So with 30 seconds left, I think there might be one, possibly no gas grenades left on the hands of Wag. But that's okay because the push is going to come in here from the A window, and that's going to be Mira's job to stop this.
They are a little stacked up, though. That C4 could come out and get a few of them.
There's the Candelas. There's the gas grenades going out. Zig's going to try to rush into the corner, go for the plant, and it looks as though it might be successful. There might be a C4 tossed out here momentarily, but the gas grenade gets tossed on out. Wags goes down, and so does Bullet and Zig from a C4 and a 416. Ness going to pick up the down Psycho, and now it's going to be a 2-on-2. However, the round will go to Black Dragons with Kamikaze picking up a 3 kill in the round. Wonderful job.
I think they kind of knew that was coming at some point, especially once they knew Ying was there. I think they were well prepared for it. It's always weird when you have to rush in on a Candela throw because you know you're rushing in blind. You saw him have to just go for the plant completely blinded because it's a situation where like you need to go in the right time because those flashes last less time than a normal flashbang. So you really need to like time that just right. And not having Ying be the one to rush in for the plant meant that whoever was doing it is going to be blinded and exposed to, you know, C4 tosses, gas canisters, things like that. And we saw that just fall apart because of the predictability at the end there. And they were just stacked up waiting for it for too long without pressure coming from other sides.
Yeah, I think the Ying Smoke Candela combination, wombo combo, basically trying to get that plant down, I think it needs more juice. What I think should happen is if you know that you're going to get baited out with the C4 toss and all that sort of stuff, you're going to have a rush in, you need to do that. You need to go for a fake, basically.
Yeah, they need to tease out like 20 seconds earlier.
Throw in 2 smokes, maybe 2 Candelas. Let them throw their C4s. Let them try to rush in, get kills with glass through there. And then from there, you're going to have 1 Candela left and 2 more smokes if you bring a Jackal or Glass, whoever.
And you know how they're going to throw those, too. You know where they're going to have to expose themselves to make those throws.
Yep.
Get a good cross angle if you can, say, from the kids' windows, and just take advantage of that play to kill one of those C4 throwers if they even throw their C4. So I completely agree. They needed to bait that out earlier. We're going to see Zig, though, on his first pulse this time. Let's see, are they down? Yep, they're down in the basement, so we're going to see that famous Zig pulse on the laundry defense. This is actually the first laundry defense 5th round of the game. That's a big surprise for me. I mean, seeing a watchtower, which worked, but just barely, thanks to some great plays and some mistakes.
We saw a defensive hold on the first defensive round for Black Dragons. They went downstairs at the start, if I recall.
That's true, yeah. We did see that before. They went for the tower attack on that.
Yes.
So this is actually, the second time, you're right. But it's definitely not been as prevalent as I was expecting. But this is one that I think BRK is strong on. So I expect good things. Psycho bringing that glass. Not sure if he was expecting them to go to dorms again, or if he was expecting that he was going to use that down for a stairs push, perhaps.
See, I liked what Yuke was doing there. He was actually putting a lot of pressure onto the showers, onto the white tower corridor, the small tower corridor. He killed a couple drones, backed off into kitchen. Now I think he's backed off into the meeting hall. But he's basically forcing the attackers to go even more slow, taking out their sights, taking away their information. And that's why we're seeing this progress a little bit more slowly than we might have been expecting.
I think that's totally worth it, too, because the west side control is important to taking this. You want to have that so you make sure people don't rush on, say, a lobby attack from the kitchen side. So they really do need to take that control, and him doing that is important. As long as he has an escape route, right? He needs to be able to get out of that or get a kill at least. So we'll see if Yuke's able to do that or not.
Now here it is. PZD's got his drone in position.
So close.
He was waiting for the mirror to stick down the window, but that is a fabulous tactic by one to hold off until the very end, because you don't need that mirror window open. You know the push isn't coming down. You'll know when it happens, so the drop hatch will get opened and so on and so forth.
It might be too late now because the drop hatch is opened. So hopefully that was a good choice by him. He's definitely sitting in a situation now where he can start to put it in there. He goes, putting it up. Very close, though, to getting shot from the side. Those little elbows maybe sticking out.
And now here comes some gas grenades going out. Wag's going to try to go for the plant with the cover of Psycho. Looking on through. 50 seconds to go. And there's going to be a wonderful headshot by Psycho. 50 seconds left. Another C4 gets tossed on out, but it doesn't do its work. And that's going to be PZD grabbing the FAMAS kill on a Yuke. A 3-on-4 now, with Julio being injured and PZD picking up a shot on a bullet. Nesk needs to clutch this 1v4. Diffuser has been planted. C4 toss comes on out. Grabs a double kill. He's going to look for the shot on the Wags, but he misses his target. There's only 30% health on him right now. No more C4, and he's going to have to play from below as Wag and Kamikaze are above, and I think PZD's coming down from behind him. He picks up a third kill in the round, looking for Kamikaze, but he looks away at the wrong time, and that's going to be Kamikaze grabbing the headshot on the Nesk, and we see round 5 going to Black Dragons.
That was really close. I got to give it to Nesk. He definitely put up a good effort in a 1v, what was basically 4 because one person was downed, but like they almost had a flawless round on him, and he took back a lot of lives before losing that. But I think that was definitely a very successful smoke plant. I like the way that the Glaz was very importantly holding the angle on who he knew would be throwing that first C4, that Mira there. Taking out that C4 thrower made sure that that plant got down, especially since they missed with the second one.
Yeah.
And that was really important because you've seen in Latin America before, they love to throw those C4s to defend that spot. And it clearly just did not work. We're going to actually see our first Echo as well down for this basement defense from Black Dragons. Hopefully that works out for Kamikaze. It is a little bit dangerous if you don't know where they're approaching from because you need to put him in a secure position and you need to know which side he can sit on without getting shot.
I really liked what Black Dragons did on the last attack round there because they threw 2 smoke grenades for the plant, but they didn't give away that, yes, we were pushing for the plant by throwing the Candelas out.
Yeah.
So ultimately what that did is that forced Mira to hesitate. And that hesitation is what caused her to get shot by Glaz.
Yeah, give Glaz plenty of time to get set up, look away for a second, and then get set up again and get that kill. Plus, I think Mira also pushed up maybe a little too far in that throw. I think that was a little bit of a mistake. But nonetheless, I think Glaz capitalized on it exactly how he should have. So it's a question of, can BD defend the basement any better than Black Dragons, or BRK did, I mean.
You know, last time when Black Dragons was downstairs, they held downstairs successfully. There was a late flank by Psycho and Kamikaze, which ended up winning them the round. This time around, they are going to have 4 players on the main floor. Julio is going to be the only one downstairs. And
I like the interesting angle with the mirror window looking out into blue. It's definitely an interesting choice. We'll see if it pays off, but it doesn't look like they're necessarily pushing construction right now, although Nesk might be the one to do that. Going down here now. Looks like they're rotating around to decide to do that, so maybe that investment in resources will pay off, because that is a big investment in this basement. Looks like they got those Candelas, though, to potentially blind that mirror to go for the attack if they decide to go that way. But I'm glad that they're droning first to make sure they know what they're going to be facing up here before they go to clear it. So this is definitely a smart approach. They're taking their time, but they're not getting any of the roamers yet. So if PZD's allowed to live, he could be a big thorn in their side.
Oh, and it looks as though PZD has gotten up into the attic after it's already been droned out.
Good timing, and that drone's not active as well, so he could take that one out or even just leave it and walk past it. And one could be walking into a trap here if he doesn't drone properly.
And he will spot out Psycho. Psycho's going to be in the very top of red. He already calls it out. He's going to need some more people. He cannot take this angle by himself. EMP is going to go out, trying to stop any kind of Ela mines that will be tossed into the corners. A minute 20 to go, though, and still looks as though BRK is having a lot of trouble trying to take control of this red tower, which is the epitome of what you need to do if you want to grab a hold of this back entry point, this back strategy.
Hopefully they don't need those Candelas because those are off the board now. Situation where they took 2 minutes to take the tower, and they haven't even finished that yet.
No, they will not, because PZD still going to be grabbing some frags here. And this is going to spell disaster for BRK.
Now, I liked what they were doing on droning before, but taking so long to take control of this tower gave plenty of time for Psycho and PZD to get in these great positions. This is really not going well for BRK. I mean, they haven't lost the diffuser in there yet. As I say that, Zig drops it.
And looks right behind the sandbags. Bullet's going to get into a little skirmish here, looking on over. And there's going to be another kill here from Wag with the SMG-11 on a Bullet. PZD finally comes around from the red tower, grabbing the frag onto Zig. It's now all up to 1 in a 1-on-5. He's coming up from underneath, but he missed the shots, and PZD whips on around with a flick onto the head of 1. And that will be Black Dragons, again, showing that they know how to play defense on this bottom site.
I think the stair railings are the thing they had the most success hitting that entire round. And that is very unfortunate for them because that looked like such a strong start. But again, taking that tower so late, you see so many teams take that tower early and for good reason. Because once you control it, there's only like a couple ways to actually rotate into it from meeting hall in the attic, and then you control those entrances. Boom, now you've secured that side of the map, and you can then maybe go on your push if you need to. They didn't do that, and it totally bit them in the butt because they left Psycho upstairs. PZD was allowed to roam the whole map and come in, get some kills from there, and by the time Thatcher was trying to make that push on the top, it was too late. He didn't have the firepower to make it work.
I think what might have been more wise was once BRK recognized, okay, there are 2, if not 3 people holding meeting hall in red tower, that's when you need to call it quits and say, let's go over and push towards the front. We can do a quick push. We still have the smokes, or we did have the smokes before we lost our Candela, lost our Ying. But at the same time, I just felt like they had a goal in mind and they were not going to stray from it, even if it wasn't in their best interest.
Yeah, it definitely cost them and actually put them now on match point against Black Dragons here. So that may have really cost them a lot by losing that. So hopefully they make a better switch next time. I do agree. I think they were just hyper-focused on one strat. We're not prepared to rotate it. Nice camera here from Nesk. Get some extra intel on this side here. I like when they check their cameras after to make sure they placed it correctly.
Yeah, no, this is kind of like the iconic Nesk that we're used to when he plays on the Valkyrie. He tosses out a camera, looks for an easy pick. If he doesn't see it, oh well. Yeah. It doesn't seem like BRK utilizes those Valkyrie cameras for late/mid game, or at least one of them can. Yeah,
and they're nice to have there for dead people as well to help with, just in case. But yeah, they didn't tend to be outside focused on this map especially. Not as many inside cameras because you tend to know where people are at once they're on the inside for the most part, outside of roamers. They're already securing the west side, though. This is a good start for them in terms of getting control of this. Kamikaze and them getting good drone plays. Well, they have some idea where the defenders are stacked up here, but they're going to need to start making picks pretty soon, or they're going to lose some of this momentum.
Now, Yuke is going to be tagged up in here in the kids' dorms. Kamikaze again trying to hold onto the angle. Last time, Cycle was the one that actually grabbed the frag down to him.
Yeah, they really need to do that same thing again here on Yuke, because Yuke is going to be a big pain in there. They've already done some damage, but he's going to keep peeking it. I would have loved to see him catch him on that reload there. I liked the crush they did last time, and it looks like they're doing the same thing again this time. A 3-man pressure on here. He's already pretty low in health. I can't imagine him surviving this, especially with grenades coming in.
His job right now is to waste as much time as possible. Psycho actually saw him as he tried proning away, and he'll pick up the kill yet again. It's going to be a 4-on-5, now half the round left to go. I want to say it was a little bit of a slow push onto Yuke, but he did end up not taking away all the time that was necessary. There's still over half, a little bit less than half the round.
Not to mention got no kills. I think they did exactly what they needed to do. Like you said, maybe took a little bit extra time, but they didn't lose anyone in the process. And I think that was the important point because of the Ela being so strong. Not losing anyone while taking out that roamer, I think is far more important than how much time you burn on it.
Now PCD is going to be holding a softer angle inside of the kitchen, looking for a rotate through the storage pantry.
See if Bullet can be that key player here that helps save the day. He's not on the Jaeger this time, he's on Bandit instead. So he's already probably placed down whatever he needed to be free on that roam. Might have even been using the batteries to help secure an attic position.
Here's going to go one smoke down, second smoke on its way. And there is not going to be a Ying, so there will be no Candelas, there will be no extra smokes, but Psycho doesn't need it. He's going to be looking for the shot on the Yuke, or on the one again. He grabs the headshot. Another C4 gets tossed on out, but again, it misses. Zig's looking to see is the plant going to go down. Julio gets that L87 kill onto Nesk, and it looks as though from above, Bullet's going to try to spray down a couple kills.
It's really going to come down to Zig to save this here.
It might be. Zig had grabbed one kill. Looks as though Kamikaze takes out Bullet on the top floor. Psycho actually dropped on through, and Zig gets caught in the crossfire, and that's going to be Black Dragons winning round number 7.
So I believe
that is game.
That's game.
That is map. Winning it 5-2.
Nicely done. Really well played, I think, by Black Dragons, because there was a lot of plays where they were doing the smart thing and won because of that, not just because of mistakes by BRK. I think BRK made a few mistakes, Black Dragon made a few, but we just saw really solid play, especially for Psycho there.
So with that, I mean, this is, the community was expecting Black Dragons to win. They were expecting just by a small margin. This, I think, was a little bit of a bigger margin than they were expecting, but again, this was their map pick.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think Black Dragons just definitely stepped up their game.
Yeah, I think it was great. I saw great play from both teams. I think it could swing the other way in the next map. Hopefully BRK are not tilted after that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've, just figured out we made some mistakes. We can come back from this. We know what we're doing. We're a great team. But Black Dragons, I think, tore them apart quite a bit if you look at the score alone, 5-2. And there were some real close nail-biters there for clutches.
Speaking of the nail-biters, let's take a look at those highlights here because there were quite a few. Now, the one critique I have here for BRK is they need to figure out on their basement hold how to make sure that Uke is going to be more effective.
Yeah.
You got taken out twice by being collapsed upon by 3 attackers.
I think the problem is his roam play is he's also cornering himself a lot.
Yes.
And that's situations where I like what he's doing, but he just stays cornered and gets taken out because, well, they know where he's at and they're just going to continue to put pressure until they kill him. And all he can hope for is to get a kill before he dies.
And that was a wonderful shot there by PZD, just barely seeing the head of that Jaeger.
Psycho was definitely the MVP for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, his Glaz play was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And ultimately, this is that 4-man clutch that Zig had. Or not 4-man clutch, but he picked off the Glaz there. 1v5, hold my beer. I got this.
I can do it.
He grabbed the kill on the Glaz. He downed the sledge. You had the diffuser planter get downed as well. I think that was going to be Wags on Hibana. Here's Julio. That's that sledge that got down. Last 2 alive are going to be the Twitch and Ash. Guess what? It's going to be the Ash that's going for the plant. And that's all he needs. Just enough couple bullets to go through the doorway. That's 3 players that have been injured.
Look at his health,
and
too.
time is down.
1 HP at most left, too.
1 HP in a
from
dream.
Jumping out there. Had he had slightly less HP when he jumped out the window, maybe he would have just died.
Jeez, and again, Psycho doing some work here on Glaz. Fantastic job all around. Black Dragons, very, very showing of their skill.
Yeah, this was a seriously great series of rounds for them. And like I said, some really close ones as well. Like ones where we thought, like that match, where we thought for sure they were done for. A 5v1, nope, jumps out the window even with a pre-fire and just has it down. And we saw this a lot, those snipes on Demira trying to throw that C4. It's become very predictable in the Latin America to throw those C4s, and I think we're seeing, now that they're capitalizing on it, they might have to come up with a different strategy to defend that bomb site because we saw it fail over and over because they throw out the smokes, wait a second, let Mira expose herself, shoot in the face, and then plant.
I want to say that there has to be something more. There has to be something more than just let's go and toss out a C4 from behind a mirror window to get this attacking strategy out of the mix.
Yeah.
But we are going to head underway with our second map of the day. It's going to be on Cafe. So let's take a look. And with Cafe being the game, or being the map that hasn't really been seen before, I'm curious to see what's going to develop in the Latin American scene. So let's take a look on in. It's going to be BRK on attack and Black Dragons on defense.
We're seeing our first Blackbeard of the day, actually.
Yes.
I would have expected it more on Oregon just because of the utility on pushing both dirt construction, push with Blackbeard, as well as the B windows onto dorm. So there's a lot of utility for Blackbeard, just didn't see it. But they do obviously have a good use for it here on Cafe. It's not just that they don't like Blackbeard.
Yep. Now we are going to see bomb site go into the fireplace and mining room. I'd say in previous seasons it was seen as the second preferred bomb site, but I mean ultimately if you're going to pick this map you need to be very comfortable with both because your third option is going to be one that is the least favorable bomb site, period.
Yeah, and it could be due sometimes some to operator changes. Say, for example, Ian goes to throw in some of those candelas from the skylight. Could be a big problem for defenders. There's a lot of other options as well. This is one map where I could almost see some Legion play as well, just because a lot of tight ways to get into spots so that he could use those traps, but not seeing that so far. But obviously they have a plan here for what they're going to do. Curious if Black Dragons are going to be able to execute this defense as well as they did the ones on Oregon. But BRK are definitely looking to play this map, so should be interesting to see if they've got some plans in motion here. I mean, again, they're bringing the Blackbeard for a reason here for Nesk, so they had strategy in mind when they picked this map. PZD, though, going to be cornering himself again potentially here. smartly gets out of there instead and
They
corners himself
They are
elsewhere.
playing pretty heavy up top, and we have a lot of investment in utility. We see Kamikaze behind the freezer window, or freezer wall with a Mira window in it,
Yeah.
trying to keep a hold of the piano.
Yeah, becomes a lot about piano, this particular defense. So
Mhm.
controlling the upstairs is really important because once pressure starts coming through the floor, it can be really hard to hold your positions against attackers from the different hallways and different doorways. There's lots of ways to get into the actual train rooms and dining rooms, and so you really have to hold that upstairs first. I like that placement there, that drone, just watching that spot.
Now we do have Nesk, the Blackbeard, on the south piano window. It looks as though he might have pulled off on it here momentarily. But again, what needs to happen is if BRK is going to be pushing this top floor, they have to gain control of it soon because only half the round remains. And it's still looking like they're struggling to get inside of the map itself.
Yeah, it looked like they spent a lot of time on drone positioning to try and make sure that they had the intel they needed to push. But if kills don't start coming out soon, I could go in BD's favor here. I like this nice hold, and that shield's a nice touch there for that common spot that we see people use that mirror window.
Now what we might be seeing here is Yuke droning out Kamikaze inside a freezer, trying to toss a Candela in, blind him enough for players to drop either in through or repel into piano.
And that's what I was saying about that skylight. It's perfect, especially for the freezer because it's such a tight spot. If you try and run out of it to not get blinded, you're going to get shot unless you drop the hatch. And so that we may see him do that, drop that hatch and give up that spot. I like this bandit tricking on Hibana, though. Is it going to work?
It will, it
There
will.
we
Looks like
go.
the mirror window will stay intact as Zig tries to pre-fire for the left side of the window, and PZD goes down by Yuke.
Kamikaze took a lot of damage fleeing from there. Probably should have done it earlier.
Now there is a 4-on-5 situated, 35 seconds to go. C4
There
gets
we
tossed
go.
on out. Candela's going to go in, but it's going to be a little too late. Last man alive here is going to be up on the top floor, will be Psycho. And he's still trying to play it nice and cool. He's going to be the last defender up here. He grabs one frag onto one with 20 seconds left to go. It's going to have to be BRK rushing on in, going on down to the drop hatch. Now Wag's going to be inside of the middle corridor, right outside of Fireplace. 15 seconds left. Yuke's going to fall, and Kamikaze picks up the frag. Now a 4-on-3 here. Bullet at the top of the back, White stairs. He's going to go on down towards Fireplace, and it looks as though Zig tries rushing on in, misses his line of sight, and Julio will pick up the kill. It's all up to Nesk and Bullet. Nesk gets a couple shots into the side. Julio picks up that frag, and it will go into the defender's hands for round number 1.
It's easy to say why they lost that attack. When you take like 2.5 minutes just to take the top floor, it doesn't really matter too much what you do from there.
They really didn't even take top floor
Yeah.
all the way. Yes, they got control of piano, they got control of bar, but they left control of cocktail and white hallway open to the Valkyrie.
Yeah, and after all that drone play, it just seemed a little sloppy and slow to get that control. I mean, the bandit obviously stalling them out helped a little bit, and he did manage to get away with his life, and that was a big problem for them. But they were being maybe a little too methodical and too cautious in their approach for a map that they picked. I think maybe they were expecting to attack the top floor instead of taking train, and so we're just not properly prepared for that to be the primary site. Although it is their primary site, so...
I would have liked to have seen, I don't recall if the south side of the freezer wall was reinforced.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Bandit on the north side with the mirror window facing into piano, but the south side, if you repel someone onto the south windows outside of cocktail, you might be able to at least get a couple bullets onto the side of Bandit, maybe force him out a little early, than trying to waste Candelas, waste smokes, waste EMPs, Hibana charges to try to open it up.
Yeah, they used a lot of utility just to get that bandit. Interesting, we're actually going to see our first Jackal. Surprises me we didn't see one sooner, as both these, as some of these Latin American teams will bring Jackal to Oregon, for example, just to clear out roamers. But this could be a big problem for Yuke if PZD is able to find him. Both of them tend to be that Ella roamer, so it's almost like they're versing each other at this point. So I'd like to see how that comes down here. But it'll be interesting to see how different their setup is from the way that the way the Black Dragons played on that top floor, or I mean middle floor. So, Psycho, though, on that glass again. See if he can do the same damage. Obviously, from that skylight is a big deal in terms of if he can pick anyone off from there. They are not bringing the Ying, though, to go for that Candela throw onto the freezer. Going to take a more traditional approach.
Now with Black Dragons, we are going to see this east window, this east window side push basically from the top floor. We already saw the glass over. That's that's Psycho up here.
He's a little concerned about cameras, but they don't have a Valkyrie, so I think he's fine. I don't know if they know that or not, though. There's 3 people on these windows. This is could be risky, especially if a runout happens. Looks like they could be prepared for this.
Now, the Hibana tossed in 6 pellets of the first Hibana charge just to get rid of any ADSs that were there, which means they haven't droned everyone out because they would have known that there is no Jaeger on the team.
Yeah,
Psycho, however,
jeez,
again with the glass plays, stopping out a push from the below.
He's definitely one of the better glass players I've seen this season and doing a great job with it.
I'd like to see year 1, season 1 Wilkie versus year 2, season 3 Psycho.
Yeah, I think we saw some great glass play from Zephyr as well, but that being said, there's definitely a operator that has not been completely rotated. As I said earlier, though, Uke on that Ella already off the board now, and that's been a big problem for them as we were talking about on Oregon. So that's a big, important roamer off the board with no one lost, no one even taking damage on BD's side. This is looking good for Black Dragons as long as they don't waste another 30 seconds just taking control of this top floor the way BRK did. They've got to get something going here within the next 20 seconds or this is going to go the same way as last round.
Yeah, they need to start pushing on down, and unfortunately, though, it looks as though they are going to continue to stall out and drone.
Well, oh, there we go. The start of it, though, and that the Ella mine from the deceased Ella there still doing some work.
And there it is. So now that makes it a 5-on-4 still to go. We are going to see Psycho move in through the smoke, grab a kill on a 1, looks up through fireplace, but misses its shot, and there's going to be an SMG-11 kill from Nesk onto Psycho. Zig also picking up a frag on a Kamikaze. 3-on-3 now. However, Zig gets taken out of play here nice and easily. 25 seconds ago. Looks as though we might have bullets staying inside of laundry for the moment. They might try to hop on down through cocktail. PZD, he's seeing the footprints. He wants to go for it. I don't know if he's actually going to go and scan him and not. Julio, though, does grab the frag there onto Nesk. It's all up to Bullet in a 1-on-3, 7 seconds left to go. Julio gets spotted on out, and now that's Bullet coming on through. Diffuser goes down, and Wag going to be behind Mining, and he picks up the headshot to take out Bullet and win round number 2 for Black Dragons.
That was a nice clutch attempt by Bullet there, but I think he was a little late. Unfortunately, staying in the laundry and leaving himself 2 spots he had to watch at the same time kind of put a lot of pressure on him. He probably needed to come out earlier. Might have been just due to communication, them not knowing where the attack was going to come down from. But it was a nice try there. And so far, Black Dragons just shown some serious strength. I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to get the attack going in time, but once they did, they rolled in fast. And Psycho just come dropping down, taking out that mirror, almost getting the other one in the fireplace. That would have really switched things up pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, when you get down to the wire, when you get down to the last 30, 45 seconds, and you still have a lot of ground to cover, it's teams like Black Dragons, it's teams like Ents, it's teams like Penta, it's all these teams that are able to just basically build their entire strategy, condense it into a 30-second push that come out on top, and that's what we saw last round.
Yeah, and we'll see if BRK, now that they're attacking the site, I think they would prefer to attack. They also, I think, made a change up. I think this might be the first time we're seeing Buck from anyone here. I'm not sure if they played it last time on this lineup, but they are bringing still that Blackbeard, still that Ying. So they may be going for a similar strategy to what they did before when they were attacking the first round, but now they're actually attacking the top floor. But like before, they've got to not waste so much time trying to clear out that freezer because Bandit's doing the same thing, potentially this time. And, oh, well, he's setting up a little bit of defense there first, but they do have a Thatcher to clear those out at least. So those batteries will hopefully go down quickly. No Jaeger to stop the Thatcher EMPs from coming in to take those out either.
Which is that we are going to see Black Dragons keeping everyone except Psycho on the top floor here, and Psycho will be that roamer, I want to say, all the way in the basement, all the way downstairs, possibly towards the kitchen or
yeah,
bar
I would have
area.
expected PZD down in Bakery. Would have made more sense, I think. Just because that long roam, I think, makes more sense with Ella being a 3-speed, being able to come back fast and come around on flanks with all these stairs here.
I'd say that, except for I believe what's going to be happening is at the very end of the round, they're going to call Psycho to come on back underneath, toss a C4 from under.
That does make sense.
I'd rather have a 2-speed of Valkyrie rather than a 1-speed of Julio, of the Mira.
Almost would expect to see like a pulse in that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So we'll see if that plays out, though. I do think that is a sound strategy. We have seen some great C4 kills from below, sometimes on defending the site in previous seasons. So it does have potential here. We'll see if Uke manages to get his candles off before getting killed this time. He did previously, but didn't actually do a lot with him because that freezer was already cleared.
Now behind the couch inside a piano is going to be, I think, one stationary PZD. He gets droned out, goes to the white corner. And we have opened up the top of Red Stairs wall into piano.
They're definitely making a little bit better pace this time. Still need to clear out. Almost catches PZD there. That's nice. Hopefully Ness can do something with his Blackbeard other than just hang out on windows, but not going to happen.
Oh, that is why you have Psycho underneath. He grabs the frag on a Nesk on the south windows. And that's going to be Blackbeard off the board. A minute 20 to go, and Piano is still having quite a bit of pressure on it. PZD will grab a couple bullets, take a little bit of damage off of Zig, but I do believe that the mirror window has been opened up into Freezer.
Now, we had one watching for those runouts earlier, and he must have just looked away just in time to not save Nesk's life, and that, I guess that's on one, but there we go with Bullet.
And there's Bullet. He will take down Psycho, so no more C4 from underneath. Nope. Now he's going to take that spot of Blackbeard, go up onto that south window, try to hold down that white corridor by the bathroom and by the exit to Freezer.
Looks like we might see more of a typical push here to go for a plant in the bar, like we're used to seeing once they clear that white side, but the white side now has come back to bite them with PZD.
And there it is. Zig will go down, and shots coming from Bullet onto PZD, but he misses the target. PZD picks up the kill. Julio gets the last frag of the round, and that's going to be Black Dragons going up 3-0. They're looking very strong here on Cafe.
Those runouts plus PZD just playing it really smart there. Obviously, that was just bad timing and looking away when he probably could have landed that first shot. But losing that white side there completely cost them. They were like, okay, cool, we can go set up. We took Christmas Piano. We can set up for this plant on bar. Then the diffuser was hanging back over towards white, gets picked off by PZD, and it just falls apart from there.
What I think happened is the buck, like you said, was down underneath the south windows, covering the push out from garage, which is typically where you have. You have someone go down the white stairs. You have them open up the door, and you have them get the rappel on the south windows. But in this case, what we saw was actually a push out from Bakery.
Yeah, very
And you have that blue barrier, that blue fence, which gives you enough cover to get a shot out and return back without having too much of an issue.
Yeah, it was a smart play. Probably had those Valkyrie cameras out there to help get that intel to make that decision, and it completely worked out. We're actually going to see our first Echo of this map from Nesk here, of all people. I'm not sure putting Nesk on an Echo is the best, just because he's got some good fragging skills. And Echo tends to not be a great frag role for it. But, you know, maybe if he's really good at that yokai, could be pivotal here in stopping a plant. Hard to say, though. They are bringing that Ying again as well. Too bad that doesn't blind the yokai. Ooh.
Nesk is one of those players that very much loves his information.
Yeah.
He loves being the Valkyrie. He loves getting that sense of, I can see multiple angles, I can see multiple rooms at once by just flipping through the Valkyrie cameras. I think Echo, he's going to be playing very similarly. He's going to use that yokai drone, maybe not for the final moments to stop a plant, but maybe to get that information for his roamers to then call out these calls on where the pushes are coming from.
Well, between the mirror, the Echo, yokai, and Zig on that pulse, they definitely should have a lot of information across multiple floors, because they're going to have ones more closer to sight with the windows, and then they're going to have Zig probably playing a little bit around the site, getting intel when they're approaching, and then who knows where Nesk is going to use that. We've seen some Echoes just hang way off site and use that to harass them whenever needed to stop a push in while staying safe. So he could be down in the Bakery even. Julio already cracking it.
Grabbing the shot down to Zig. That's going to be Pulse off the board early on. No C4 tossed out from him.
It's unfortunate for him. He was already setting up potentially even for a run out or something like that on the garage side. Definitely not going to happen now. Oh, there's Nest getting droned out. So they are going to start pushing on him now.
More bullets coming on through. PZD drops him down for the count, but gets refragged by one. A 4-on-3 now, a minute 45 to go. And now what we're seeing here from the attackers is they are trying to finish off where the rest of the defenders, and then we'll go in for a push. Now the barbed wire looks to be electrified here.
Yeah, that was a close call for that drone.
Yeah.
Nearly ate the dust. Although things have slowed down. It was very fast for a couple minutes there, and then just boom, now back to slow down while they're, as you said, trying to figure out where everyone's left so that Psycho could be in a good position.
Oh, what a shot. Now, the issue with that is Yuke had been droned out by Psycho. Yeah. Psycho should have called out. He's on top of this desk. He has this angle. But unfortunately, though, they didn't.
That's why communication is such an important part of this game, because it just completely will potentially cost them this round with only a minute left here and not a lot of pressure coming on, only 3 people left. Psycho's going to have to help change things here, and they're droning for him to enter, which is smart.
He does have 2 gas grenades still on the board, so 50 seconds to go, and Wag is likely to cover up the flank here after trying to get some kills and move in forward. Now here go the smoke grenades. Diffuser is in the hands of Wag, so he's got to move in, go for the plant.
This is where we could see Yuke on this flank again. On this white side, he's going to go.
Saw the head. Psycho, though, will try to go for it. He's going to fall down the hole, try to go for the flank from behind. Could he get it? One grabs a C4 kill on a Wag, and Julio picked up the kill there on a Yuke, and Bullet heard the drop from Glass, picked up Psycho for the frag, and Julio will be the last man alive, but he gets taken out nice and easy by the MP7 of Bullet. Round 4 goes over here to BRK. They're finally on the board, 3-1.
Some great flank play by Bullet and Yuke there just taking advantage of a lot of momentum and moving around. They were both 3-speed defenders and both really using that to their advantage. It worked very well, putting it close to match point here. Black Dragons showing that they might be able to close this out. Maybe this won't go to 3 maps like we were hoping at the rate things are going.
It might not. I mean, Black Dragons definitely, like you said, these two teams know each other. I think Black Dragons, they're changing it up a little bit more than BRK, and they're capitalizing on the roam game. They're capitalizing on taking out and denying the roam game from BRK.
Yeah, hopefully they can. Hopefully BRK can make a bit of a comeback here. Black Dragons are a team that I've seen sometimes be a little more predictable than BRK in terms of their attacks and things like that, but it just doesn't seem like BRK's been able to capitalize on that so far, because having only won a single round really shows to me that they're just not figuring it out, and this is the map that they picked. This is where we expected them to have some serious strategy. Maybe that was a big mistake. Maybe they should have gone with Consulate.
Well, what I'm seeing here is sometimes when a team does very poorly or appears to be doing poorly, they're being outgunned.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's the case here. What I feel like is being done is Black Dragons is outplaying, out-strategizing BRK.
Yeah.
The perfect example of that are the multiple attempts to take out Yuke on Oregon, where you have 3 people holding different crossfires and taking out Yuke when he finally goes for a push.
Yeah, they're really using the firepower to their advantage strategically instead of just trying to win gunfights one-on-one. And we're seeing a lot of flanking from them as well. They're doing a really good job using their mobility, and that's really paying off. And we're just not necessarily seeing that from BRK. Some of their roamers are getting taken off the board very early, like Zig getting killed last round as Pulse, or the Valkyrie getting killed before to C4 from underneath. It's not working out as well as they'd like the roamers. But they are going to try this the Buck again. Hopefully he'll be watching for runouts proper again if this Blackbeard's going to be hanging on the window. But PZD's going to hopefully be a little unpredictable for them.
Lots of drones getting tossed out. Again, in the first minute and a half, it's all about gathering information, taking out the roamers. And last time, it went a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
But I'll have to see if that gets changed on up here.
They're definitely worried about the freezer being a big concern for them. They spend maybe a bit of too much time concerned about that because it doesn't end up mattering in the end. They never end up really contesting the freezer other than trying to take that mirror window out. And the way they're doing it just doesn't seem to be working versus just going for a straight Thatcher Hibana. Just take it out as quick as you can that way. Don't worry about who's in there. Obviously, the bandit did trick previously, so they're concerned about it. But if they did the droning properly, there's no bandit.
I don't see anyone downstairs in reading room. I would like to see Buck go into reading room, open up some of the floor, maybe the drop hatch inside a freezer, toss in a nade, get rid of the mirror or whoever inside of that freezer. If that's your pinch point, if that's why you can't get into piano, do that. Get him out of there.
And they lost their Hibana too now, so it's going to be really difficult for them to get any kind of those windows down. Oh, and Julio making it even harder here. That's the Blackbeard gone. The Blackbeard doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot both the times we've seen him.
No, and here we are, Yuke again trying to use more utility, get his way over towards freezer. Looks as though Kamikaze scoots on over. There's no one inside of the freezer. And it looks as though PZD inside a bathroom. Kamikaze back of white stairs. And now it's a 5-on-3. One still trying to hold down from above inside of Skylight. Bullet's going to challenge on the PZD, but it looks as though Kamikaze grabs that 416 kill on a Yuke, taking him out of play. A 5-on-2 now, Bullet and 1. They're trying to collapse on the 2 roamers above, but with 40 seconds to go, they've got to do this and so much more. He starts it off nice. 1 grabbing a kill there on the Kamikaze. PZD's going to limp on out of there with about 2 health left to go on the board.
This is definitely coming down to the wire with 30 seconds left. The 2v4. PZD doesn't even need a whole lot of health to pull this off here. He's got so much utility.
Perfect job by PZD. He tosses out the L grenade right at the perfect time after the EMP goes out. Now he's just wasting monstrous amounts of time. Finally he goes down, but his work is done. Now BRK is going to have to rush on in, try to go for this plant, try to pick up the final kills. 1 goes down by the SMG-11 a WAG. Swings on over. There's going to be a refrag by Bullet. He's got 2 more to go and 1 second to do it in, and it will not happen. And that's going to be round number 5. Going to Black Dragons. They lead 4-1 in match point series point.
Valiant attempt by Bullet there, who's been forced into more than one clutch situation here. Couldn't quite pull it out as Thatcher. And I'm not even seeing where this buck is coming into play, for example. Like, they're bringing a buck on 1. I'm not seeing a whole lot of bucking going on. I'm seeing him spending so much time getting in.
I don't see the bucking going on either. Yes, he might be the one to open up the drop hatch, but okay?
Yeah, get him in the room first.
You've got Thatcher. Why not have him bring breaching charges, use that, get Buck somewhere else?
Yeah, even a sledge at this point is better, and Julio obviously playing that sledge knows it. I just think they're just not really utilizing their operators they're picking. Whereas you see like when, Black Dragons does it, they're picking the operators, and I'm seeing them get way more utility out of what they're doing. It's definitely paying off. See if Zig can live a little bit longer this time on that pulse, because I think he's a great pulse player, but I don't know if we've completely seen like his full skill on this particular map.
I have to give it to Black Dragons because they are being very precise with their pushes, being very precise with their defensive holds. BRK seems to be sluggish. This doesn't seem to be the BRK we saw at LAN. It doesn't seem to be the BRK that has been a titan in the Latin American scene for seasons upon seasons.
I almost wonder if the losing Julio to play with Bullet has been hurting them. And as I say that, though, I realize Bullet has been a really important player for them quite a few rounds. But I don't know, maybe they lost some of that synergy, or maybe Julio's feeding a lot of intel to BD to just play completely against them. Maybe that really is backfiring on them, and they wish they still had Julio. Nonetheless, though, it's definitely looking like we could see the end of this matchup here within the next 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Not looking good. Psycho, though, has been really good on this Glass, and I think that's made a difference. We haven't seen BRK pulling out that same level of Glass play that Psycho's been able to bring, and I think that's been a big difference for them.
I agree with you there. I feel as though we're just seeing the operator selection choices here for BRK not necessarily be as effective as they need to be.
Yeah. We'll see if PZD gets the full utility out of those Candelas. But nonetheless, the rest of the roster is all set up to just get some kills and get in faster and not spend so much time just hanging out around the outside of the windows of Piano.
Now, we are going to see this still go into a 5-on-5. Yuke will be up inside a cocktail lounge. Nade's going to get tossed on in and will not hit its target. Bullet almost hit that, I think, or almost caught that. But he was tucked around the unreinforced, or the unpenetrable wall.
He is trapping himself a little bit here, and they could capitalize on that, but he's just going to get cocky with it and pay the price.
And there it is. Kamikaze swings on in, grabs a kill on a Yuke, gets another headshot on the Bullet. Wonderful job and wonderful start here for Black Dragons. Now Zig is going to get droned on out. A couple shots going to go in towards the drone hole. Spot his feet. Not going to do any damage just yet, but he is going to be cornered. He will not get out of this alive unless a miracle happens and some flicks go around. There go the Candelas. Looks as though Zig gets blind. C4 goes out. PZD goes down. In a 4-on-3 right now, he's going to grab another one. Zig now grabbing 2 kills, trying to even out man count. 3-3. He is holding this down. He is making this miracle happen. Now Psycho going to toss out a smoke grenade. They're going to go a little bit more cautiously. You know that Psycho is going to be able to see through this. He's going to shoot right through here. Couple pop shots. Zig will not see through on there. And Psycho will finally manage to get him down. 40 seconds left to go on the board and a 3-on-2 to do it in.
I like the way Zig was playing that, but you can't do that against the Glass. It was a nice try. It was more the Zig we expected, but they are in a clear advantage here with Psycho still left alive, the utility of WAG with the diffuser still up.
With
28 seconds is enough.
28 seconds with a huge amount of skirmish that happened up top. They have neglected Nesk. He's going to be around on the top floor of bathroom, and it looks as though he might be able to come around. He grabs one. The other two have dropped on through the hatch. They know he's above. Now they're going to split off. One's going to fireplace. There's going to be... Nasky grabs the kill on a Psycho. With 7 seconds left, it's going to be a 1-on-1. Nesk's going to move on down. He'll let that plant go down. That gives him 45 seconds to recuperate.
They are definitely playing mind games now.
Now WAG, he planted inside of A, but he's moved over to B. There's going to be one Elamine. He gave him away. Nesk now knows he's going to look on over, go for a shot here. He's looking for the pre-fire. And he just misses it. Now there's about 20 seconds left to go, and he misses it. And WAG, he will take home the 6th round of the matchup here. And that's going to be Black Dragons winning 5-1 over BRK Esports, winning the entire series 2-0.
I thought there was a chance Black Dragons could come out on top, but I did not expect a 5-3-5-1, especially them doing far worse on the map that they picked. BRK there just not prepared for what Black Dragons was bringing. Now, I mean, Julio's been here since the start, so they should have expected something.
Yes.
But clearly, this Black Dragons roster is looking very strong to be potentially in the finals here. I would imagine that EU and NA are going to be a little bit worried after seeing a performance like that against a team like BRK that are not an easy team to crumble.
I was thoroughly pleased with the cafe play from Black Dragons. I thought they were on point. I felt that even though we don't see much cafe play in the Latin American scene, that these guys have been working on it regardless, and it shows tonight.
And that's the thing is other regions that play cafe more are now going to have to worry. Like, we thought Latin America wasn't interested in it. Now we've got to worry about things like bank and cafe and the maps that we might not have played as much.